Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. Today is September 15th and I'm putting some finishing touches on a lot of these farms that I've worked all summer to tee up. And I leave for Montana on an elk hunt here in the next 2 or 3 days. And so I need to make sure that these farms are 100% dialed in. And so that way when I get back, it'll be close to the October 1st opener. But if you guys are like me, you've noticed a big change in your cameras and deer movement in the last 14 days. Obviously we knew this was coming with deer shedding, temperatures dropping, and acorns falling. There's been a huge change in the deer's movement, and a lot of your bucks are MIA if you guys are anything like me. But that'll change here. Don't worry, it always happens every year. I think the September lull is a bigger factor than the October lull, just in terms of finding these bucks. But today, I'm just going to come out, freshen up a few of these scrapes, make sure that my cameras have batteries and everything is taken care of. And I also want to show you guys a new property that I just picked up. This is going to be a permission farm that I can go out and hunt just for bow season only. And so I'm going to do a little speed scouting and hopefully make the most of my time on that property. So I'm going to get to work. Should be a fun day. Got a little bit of work left to do here, but most of these farms are teed up and I just couldn't be more impressed with how they've turned out. Well, this farm that I'm on right now, it actually got logged 2 or 3 years ago. And I want to show you guys the stark difference between a logging project versus a clear cut, because it's night and day difference, and it creates a lot of natural edge to be able to capitalize and actually be able to hunt this fall. So where I'm at right now, there's a low stem count, pretty much wide open. You can see the whole timber. But if you look to the east, about 40 yards, there's a clear cut right here. And it's thick, woolly, it's probably covered up with beds. And there's probably not a lot of deer that are going into the heart of it, but the deer are going to bed right on the edge of that. And I think that a lot of does are going to call that home in the rut when they're tired of being harassed by these bucks. So what my plan is come in here and do a hanging hunt on east wind and get a spot where I can blow my wind off this little ridge right here, but I can also be on the downwind side of this bedding area and hopefully catch these bucks cruising these ridges and naturally working that edge, looking for does in between does when probably in the middle of the rut. So that's a really good rut stand, and that's why it's important to come out here and do these little scouting trips. Is you don't know what micro adjustments you're going to pick up in between seasons, whether that's down trees that are blocking trails or logging projects or anything like that. It's important to spend some time in the woods before the season starts. Alright, well, as you can see, this is the perfect plot, and it looks really good right now. Brassicas are huge. We got the seed in right at the right time, and we got a lot of timely rains as well, so there have been a lot of deer hitting this plot. I got a scrape in here, a watering hole, and then lots of greens, so it looks really good. This spot has a lot of oaks in just the general vicinity. There's a bunch of white oaks over here behind me, and then off to my east as well. So I'm really thinking this is going to be a good spot in early October, especially on these cold fronts. So hopefully bucks continue to show up, but I'm going to go in here, move a few cameras around, and freshen up some of these scrapes for now. All right, well, that's pretty much gonna wrap up all the work that I have to do today. Still want to go out and show you guys the new permission farm that I got. But as you can probably tell, I've got about 100% of my cameras on mock scrapes or food plots. You know, that's just going to be the most natural spots to hunt these bucks in the fall. And so I've already got my cameras moved for when they make the big transition. Another thing that I thought was kind of weird is in the perfect plot, I have a rope scrape and I have a big oak branch right next to each other. They both have scent, and I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment on what the deer would hit and what the deer wouldn't. I would say almost 100% of the time, it's the deer's preference to hit that oak branch rather than the rope. Obviously that could change throughout the season, but a lot of the rope scrapes that I put up haven't done well at all. This one behind me is just an ironwood branch, and this scrape's been really hot. Bucks have been hitting this in velvet and in hardhorn, so you know, I don't know if rope scrapes are a myth or if the bucks just aren't active enough yet on them to hit them. But right now, I'm going to stick with my natural scrapes and also daywalk scent. But I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. So I'm going to get out of here. This farm is teed up. It's perfect. All I got to do is get in a tree this fall, and I cannot be more ready for that. All right, guys. Today I'm standing on the new piece of permission ground that I got. And as promised, I wanted to just show you guys a little bit about it and some of the spots that I've already found. So far, I have identified 3 to 4 good stand setups. 3 are, I would call ideal, being able to get in and out without the deer knowing that they're being hunted. And then 1 stand is definitely more risky. It's probably the best spot on the farm, but the access is not very good. And so it's gonna be kind of a balancing act if we can hunt that. Honestly, it might be once or twice a year, middle of the rut, just go in there and spend all day. The cool thing about this farm is I was able to speed scout it and be pretty effective without putting boots on the ground at all. I've started to use LiDAR mapping, which is just basically an addition to topography maps on Onyx or HuntStand or whatever you guys use. Having that extra layer on there helps a lot in terms of finding maybe impassable ditches or bluffs or anything like that. In the country that I hunt, I would say 90% of the funnels come from topography-based structure. So it's not gonna be a fence line or a fence gate or anything like that. So I was able to find 3 good spots that I really like. The first spot is classic inside corner. It's about 100 yards south of doe bedding, and I'm thinking that this is gonna be a good spot. I can slip in and out, great access. There's a big trail running up there, so I think it's gonna be 1, good for early season, and 2, good for the rut. Looks like a classic rut stand as well, just in terms of it's on the upper third of a ditch where obviously the deer are gonna be passing through, and then food source and bedding all right there. Second spot is gonna be more of an early season spot. It kind of checks out the green food source. Unfortunately, being late to the game, I wasn't able to get any food plots in here, but there is some alfalfa here, so I'm hoping the deer will be feeding on that. And that's probably gonna be more of just an observation stand, to be honest with you. Figure out how the deer are using the property, and you can hopefully get a lot of recon from that stand. The third spot is going to be, once again, an inside corner. It's got a fence line coming, the head of the ditch wraps around, and then obviously the deer coming out of the corner into the food. And so I was able to find a really good trail right there. It looks really good. All I gotta do is get an elevate in there and make sure that it plays the part. And then the fourth and final stand is the ultimate rut spot. It's way deep in the timber on a big bedding ridge, and it looks like there's a cattle trail in there with as many deer that have been using it. But like I said, I don't know if we'll be able to get in there and hunt it at all, unless I potentially could come in through someone else's property. But if I do get in there, I'm sure I'll be blowing deer the whole time, so not sure if it's worth it. It's kind of the balancing act on those really aggressive stands. You know, you can go in and hunt them, but it's probably gonna be a once or twice a year deal. Otherwise, you're gonna blow all the deer that you're trying to hunt. So that's just the new farm in a nutshell. I'm really excited. There's a really good amount of food. There's a lot of edge, and it's shaping up to be a really good spot. But I'm really excited to hear you guys' feedback in terms of the rope scrapes and if that's a myth or not, because you know, I've got 5 rope scrapes out and I've gone 0 for 5. I've got 4 normal scrapes out and I've gone 4 for 4. And so I'm hoping this experiment of having the rope scrape and the oak branch side by side, you know, I feel like that's as good of an experiment as you can make, you know, will help determine whether that's gonna work or not. Obviously, I know it's a little early in terms of bucks really getting aggressive into scrapes,
But I've had a lot of luck with deer hitting scrapes all year round on more of a natural type branch or vine or anything like that. So let me know in the comments what you guys see, what your preferred scrape method is, and I'm looking forward to hear that feedback. I've got an elk hunt in Montana here for the next 10 days, so I will be gone, hopefully be chasing big bugling bulls. But by the time I get back, it'll be October 1st, and that's the day we all live for. So once again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate the support.